Version 43 for Paragon has been out for around a week, and in this video I'm going to be going over my general first impressions of this version of the game and really just the future of Paragon and my feelings on it. So I hope you enjoy the video and let's get into it. So first off, the graphics of course look amazing both on PC and PS4. You didn't check out, I did do two videos checking out the PC and PS4 version, comparing them together graphics wise. Of course PC and Ultra will definitely look better, but the PS4 version stands up very well indeed. The overall beauty of the map and having both sides of it, dusk and dawn, really look amazing. And I'm sure the bugs and performance issues we're still having are being resolved quickly, and we know Epic are working all day and night to get it done. But more important than the graphic changes is definitely the actual gameplay changes. The most important was the jungle, and in my honest opinion it definitely feels meh to me, but they did say that this is only temporary until they find some new creative objectives to add to the jungle. I will be doing a full length video on this very soon, discussing what I would want to happen to the jungle and where the jungle role really needs to be. Again, that's something I've been working on for quite some time, but I definitely felt more motivated to do it recently with version 43, how they have drastically changed the jungle. But to summarise it quite quickly, the reason I'm not a fan of the jungle changes, it feels like as a jungler you always need to be in the jungle, because the big minions give you 3 times what the little minions give you. So you always need to destroy the bigger minion so you can get another big minion back, meaning you will be more efficient at farming. But as the cooldowns every 90 seconds on the minions, it means you pretty much for the first 5 to 10 minutes just want to keep farming the strong side of the jungle over and over again, just to make sure you don't miss on any crucial farm. And that means you're not going to be ganking as much, which is a huge, that's a negative thing. Even if you try to gank, you're always thinking I'm missing big farm out in my jungle, and that's again just not a positive thing to reinforce as a jungler. Like I said, Epic will be changing that, of course. They have plenty of ideas in the works and they will let us know once they have a few ideas. Now let's go over to the balance changes. Overall everything was pretty much in the right direction, but I do feel we need more frequent updates with certain changes, I guess. It feels a little slow with particular overpowered cards like Unstable Cyborg, which even with its huge drastic nerf, it still is a bit too good. Of course Epic with their transparency are always amazing, telling us they agree with stuff or don't agree with stuff, and it's always nice to know where the company which are creating the game we all love do stand on certain decisions. Again, I just personally feel like there needs to be more changes for cards over shorter periods of time, because certain stuff I'm just like, there's still some really strong stuff here and the meta really hasn't changed that much. It's still very much a tanky meta of heroes like Quan or Fen Mao, which can build tanky and have a good burst damage, and they can pick certain cards that does deal the damage for them, like it was Withering Shadow before, which is still a pretty good card, and stuff like Unstable Cyborg, which means they can build as tanky as they want and they can get damage done for them because of that card. Now talking about hero changes again, I really have no problems with any of them except for 2. For Aurora's buff, I don't really mind it at all. I think the bigger radius for her ultimate and her Full Frost was pretty much needed. But I'm not a fan, and I'm not sure if this works or not, but whenever I've tried to use a cleanse card on Aurora's ultimate, it seems to not work. Again, I'm not sure if this is a bug or unintentional. I did post it on Reddit and hopefully it gets resolved, but that's something I wasn't sure there, because for Aurora, with this game is pretty much all about counterplay right now, and if you can't counter Aurora's ultimate with cards that should be cleansing, that's a big problem. And now the most talked about buff is Quan, which is honestly absolutely insane. When I made the video about it talking about version 43's changes, I really didn't know how big of a buff it would be, but I'm telling you now, which you're going to be seeing gameplay of it in the background, wow. I mean, I don't understand this change one bit. I thought it confused me at the start. I'm like, Quan's a really good hero, why are you doing this? And then suddenly you see how big the changes are. His tether is so much easier to hit. That, I mean, in this game alone, I was able to bully the carry so much. All I had to do against the carry is hit my tether, carry was dead. Nothing he could do. And it's not hard to hit the tether anymore. So, I guess this was a change that wasn't meant to be somewhat a buff, but like a fix, like a little rework to Quan's abilities. They just sort of didn't have time to actually nerf Quan in other departments to not make him as ridiculously strong as he is now. Because right now, yeah, he's as good as he has ever been. It's insane. Like, it's so hard to not get tethered. It's so, like, it's almost impossible unless the Quan player is terrible. But I may make another video on that, on Quan itself, with the gameplay that's shown in the background. But I don't know, man, that just felt really off to me, that change, and I'm hoping in version 42.3, which will be the next big update next week, next Tuesday hopefully, that they do address Quan a little bit, when nerfing him in other departments after he's buffs. So I'm going to summarise really my opinion of version 43. I think all the changes overall were good. I mean, some of them I may have wanted a bit more drastic than they weren't, but everything was in the right change. You know, stuff that needed to be buffed, needed to be buffed. Stuff that needed to be nerfed, needed to be nerfed. Again, except for Quan's buff, everything else seemed like it was needed. It just feels it's taken a long time, and I think that's something I want to discuss with the future of Paragon, is like, it's always had that stage, Paragon. It's changed so much drastically over the course of the last year and a half that you've got to one of those stages where, like, can we just skip forward 3 months until they get all the fixes out, they start progressing the game a lot further on, and then we can really see it. And that's the problem with a game that's been in beta, especially for so long, and we've been part of it. You know, I've been there since the alpha, and you know, even if you've been picking up since Monolith, you've been there for such a long time with so many drastic changes that there gets a point where every player's just like, especially with all the new games coming out now, like, you sort of just want to zone out for 2 to 3 months, then come back once all the big balance changes are happening. Maybe one of the new modes is, you know, being teased and almost ready to come out by the end of the year. Stuff like that I think would be good. And you look at what they still need to do with Paragon: competitive play, the PvE mode, and the smaller, you know, quicker PvP mode. All the balance changes. I think they need to pretty much double the amount of cards in the game. Yeah. Everything like that, with the hero reworks and then adding new heroes on top of it. Having a spring or early 2018 release seems pretty demanding and tough for them to actually get to. I was expecting this game to come out around March period, but after really seeing how far they've still got to go with the game, I definitely feel this is going to be more of an April/May release, if that. But of course they still take as long as they needed, but it's one of those things, it's just going to take a really long time. 2 full development years of it being in alpha and beta, I would have played it. But all I'm just saying is that you don't have to play Paragon if you don't feel like playing Paragon. Yes, this was a great, version 43 was great, there's no doubt about it. It's really helping the game go forward, and it's like, okay, the game's really finally becoming the game it's going to be. It just takes time, and sometimes that can take 1 to 2 months, 3 months, you know. Nothing can, you know, quicken the development cycle of the game. We just gotta wait, and sometimes, like me, I haven't been playing it as much recently just because Destiny 2's come out, and I've been playing Fortnite Battle Royale, so there is that middle ground where I'm like, you know what, I don't need to play Paragon that much. Like, I'll play it when I want to, and that's what you should do. You don't have to play Paragon 2 to 3 matches every day if you don't want to, and just take your time with it, guys. There's no rush to it. It's like, hey, you know what, I'm going to take a month break from Paragon, come back in a month and start playing it. I feel all these players that, you know, are raging or going to, you know, stop playing Paragon as much ever since really version 42, that everyone's going to be coming back once the game's in full release. Once they announce the full release of the game and it comes out, everyone's going to be back and see what the game was promised to be and what it is then. But thank you all very much for watching, even though this was a bit more of a rambled video talking about version 43 and really the future of Paragon, and a bit about my channel too, but that's going to be in another video talking about the future of my channel, which may be out or may not be out by the time of this video, because I have no idea how I'm going to upload them, in what order. But thank you all very much for watching, guys. Again, hope you're enjoying Paragon. I've had a little bit of break for it. Version 43 has been excellent though, and I'll see you all next time.